We've seen some quite intense stuff from Mike Hadrias, aka Perfume Genius. We've heard his albums, two albums so far. We also seen his performances, and now there's his third album. It seems like he's taken a big step for himself. He's also taken himself to nationwide television in the US with a great performance at David Letterman's 2 weeks ago. It was intense, Mike, and there was also this piece written about you on Pitchfork, about you being there in this white suit with the fetish armor underneath it and the lipstick and everything. It was about you being brave, and you took to Twitter and used practically every positive smiley that you could find in your phone. It was important to you, right?
It was, yeah. You know, it's a combination of half of the things I was wearing are because I feel like it, I want to, and then half kind of a protest because I know, it might not go over well in middle America or more conservative areas. So it's a weird combination of rebellion and just who I am at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
Were you nervous for that performance?
I was nervous right when I heard about that we were going to be performing there, like a month before. So I kind of pretended like we weren't going to. Because it's a big deal. It's the kind of show that like my mom and all her friends watch. It's not just like, it's not going just to the people that want to listen to it.
You're used to playing for people who come to visit
Yeah.
your show.
And this goes, to everybody that watched it that night. So that was very nerve-wracking. I don't even really remember performing it that much because I was so nervous.
Just a rush.
But right before I went on stage, because I was really nervous, right before I kind of grabbed the mic from the guy, like I kind of switched into like a bitchy mode right before the performance. I was glad for that. I'm just glad that I wasn't timid or shy. I'm awkward, that's just how I am, but I wasn't overly nervous. I didn't let the situation get to me. I just sort of, I danced and sang like I wanted to do.
2 years ago, your video for Hood was taken off YouTube by YouTube itself because it was too offensive, probably.
Yeah.
Now you're able to do this. Has something changed, or is it just your growth?
Well, it was actually just like a promo ad that was taken down. It wasn't the whole video. It was just like something almost like a commercial that plays before other YouTube ads. And the reason it was taken down is because they thought it was inappropriate. But the whole video was just me and another man embracing. And it was even kind of far away. Like, we're kind of holding each other like this, and a really pretty, one of my most saccharine, sweet songs was playing over video. It was almost kind of a cheesy ad. That was what was the most frustrating about why they thought it was inappropriate. Because it wasn't. It was really, like, sweet and...
It was a shock to you, because,
It
it wasn't
shock.
meant to be controversial.
No, and I do mean to be controversial a lot, so it wouldn't have been as much of a shock if I was trying to provoke, and then they were like, I don't like that, I thought it was not, I thought if anything, I actually made my own version of that was a little more nasty.
Yeah.
But, nothing's changed. Maybe things have gotten a little better.
The thing is, you have this new album out. It's your third,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually a really challenging record with guitars sounding like really sharp and
Yeah.
siren-like synths on the record.
Yeah.
Actually, you have seemed to raise your profile with it. That's kind of a surprise, maybe. Did you expect it yourself?
Yeah. I hoped for it. I didn't want to change anything about how I write or what I made, but I still hope for success, and I hope that, even though the album is experimental and strange, I hope that it has widespread acclaim just because, I don't know, this is my career, it's all I got, so I need it to work.
Did you bring in Adrian Utley of Portishead to get this result, or is this a result of bringing him in?
Well,
Do you know the difference? Like the direction?
Oh, no, I made demos for all the songs, and all the intentions were there, they were pretty, the dark songs and the versions that ended up the album, my demos were just as dark, but I'm just not technically capable of making them like full on crazy and scary like I wanted to. And Adrian, he understood what the songs were about emotionally, and he also technically knew where, when I wanted a song to be really filthy and really like you could feel it like in your chest, and where at home I would be able to just kind of make it itch, he could make it like really pummeling. So
really hitting hard. Yeah. You're also trying to keep it light sometimes. You're selling shirts at your tour now with Eminem on it, in drag, dubbed Feminem.
Yeah.
Does he know yet?
Oh, I would never think he would know, but people even wrote about that T-shirt, and I've gotten some Eminem fans on Twitter like threatening me and stuff. So hopefully it will get to him, because I'm serious. Like, I want to talk to him. It's not like a jokey thing, like, you know, like I'm not making jokes. I would like to sit down with him and have a conversation.
About what?
Huh?
About what?
Just, well, essentially, I guess that he's an asshole, and he's, you know, boring, and I don't know.
There's been a lot of talks about him, not only about your shirt, but there's also Iggy Azalea, for instance, took out on Twitter to confront him. He's saying things about women, about gays.
Yeah.
Is it really that important to drag yourself in the arena as well? You want to do that because you're putting yourself out there.
I mean, it's not that hard. I'm just like tweeting.
Of course.
So it's not,
you know how easy
that,
it is,
but
right?
that's why I wouldn't mind having like a sit down conversation. That would be more like, you know, require more effort. It's, I guess the main thing I was worried about you're kind of playing into it when you respond to it. Because he's very much writing those things as a desperate attempt to essentially get all the press he's getting for it.
It's meant to be funny as well.
Oh, it's not funny though. I
To
mean,
him
like,
it is.
it's very frustrating to me. It's not funny. I mean, there are a lot of jokes. I can think of like a million jokes right now that aren't about rape. You know what I mean? He could have picked one of those and maybe been as funny as his rape joke. So, like, I think that's very frustrating.
How would you be sitting opposite to him? Would you be really mad at him? Would you ask questions? What would it be like?
When I imagine it, it's actually I'm kind of just silently staring at him, and he just slowly just starts kind of weeping. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of melting into his chair and kind of falling over, and I just slowly kind of rise. That's what I would picture.
That's the kind of thing you're aiming with in your own music, right? You're kind of claiming your own identity. You're also claiming your identity that way in your own music. That's a big step for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Making yourself less vulnerable, more maybe just standing for what you are.
Yeah.
What did it take to get there?
I think it's a lot, you know, with the first couple albums, my life got a lot better, and you know, I had a lot of opportunities, and I paid my rent every month, and my boyfriend's still there. You know what I mean? Like, we've been together for a long time. And a lot of my circumstances got a lot better, but I stayed the same. I kind of stayed just as anxious and just as, I guess, sad sometimes. You know, I still had a lot of the same problems I had when my life was shittier. And that was very frustrating to me, that I maintained all my insecurities, even though, you know, if you looked at my life, I was doing really well. And that was very frustrating to me. And I didn't, you know, I don't want to get in my own way anymore and, like, kind of hold myself back. And I also don't want to let, you know, other people get away with trying to do the same. And, you know.
But that means there's some kind of acceptance that those insecurities are part of what you are and what you are as an artist as well.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, and it's all part of, you know, you're supposed to be uncomfortable. And you're supposed to, like, doubt things and figure stuff out. You're not, you know, it's part of... I'm glad I'm figuring it out now, because I think it's a good time for me, too. And, you know, I've kind of made a career out of figuring it out. So...
Have you ever gone too far for yourself? I mean, when you do the performance at Letterman, you're very, very vulnerable. You get all these reactions on Twitter. They're probably not all as good as that Pitchfork piece. Does it hurt you? Probably it does.
Oh, yeah. And people can be real cruel. And it's not usually so much what they say, it's that they said it. You know, I could never... I've gone to a show and disliked it, but I never was like, you know what? I think I want to tell them that I really hated that show. That's what's strange to me. Is how quickly and how easily it seems like some people just say really awful things to you. But in a way, I'm trying to flip that into something good as well. Because I got a really mean, really specific and personal, like, letter saying how awful I was and blah, blah, blah. And it really messed with me. It kind of, like, seasoned like a week of my life. And I was very frustrated and sad, you know. And I was frustrated.
Do you respond to things like that?
I really want to. I'm the kind of person that, like, I really want to, like...
But you shouldn't.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. So I blocked her. I just blocked her.
Yeah. So how does it work? You're going to be performing here tonight. Will you be are you having some ritual 10 minutes before the show, transforming yourself into this very secure person, stepping on stage and doing this thing?
I mean, no.
You just...
Well, a little bit. I guess a little bit. I kind of amp it up. I pace around a lot. I have a lot of vocal lozenges. I do these really weird manic prayers. So yeah, I guess I do have a ritual. And it is much more of a performance than it used to be. You know, it's like still me, but I kind of have to magnify little parts of me and kind of blow them up. So, but it's kind of easy. It's easier for me now to do that. I'm gonna switch it on.
Yeah, we'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
you're
talking to
welcome.
us.
Thanks for having me.
Good
Nice
night.
to meet you as
Right.
well.
Thanks.
Yeah.